Jets fans, welcome back to another session of Knicks Bros TV here on Jets Talk. I've been really excited to make this video. It's been a while since I've done a Jets video. Jets had a bye week. There has been a lot of things that we can discuss going forward. So let's get right into it. You know what's amazing is that what is it, 8 feet of snow Buffalo got. It's unfortunate that the Bills won't be able to, or the Buffalo fans won't be able to watch their game at home. But guess what? As a Jets fan, I can take anything that we can get. This is great for us to be able to practice in our facility, and you got to feel for the players in Buffalo too. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But what is strange to me is how they're having a game in Detroit. I thought it would be more reasonable if they played the game maybe in Gillette Stadium. They played the game in Pittsburgh or Philadelphia rather than go out in Detroit. But as everybody knows, the tickets are free. I wish I was in Detroit, get to watch the Jets for free. But really interesting to see how that's going to pan out in the long run. I think it was a well-deserved bye week for us. I think this gave a lot of more time or more momentum to the Jets coming off our last win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It gave a little bit more time for Michael Vick to be able to understand the offense better. And what you guys have to realize is, I think, the last time we played the Buffalo Bills is probably the number one best result came out from it. And that result was us benching Geno Smith and moving forward with Michael Vick. This is the game where Geno Smith went on his little interception parade or party where he constantly kept throwing interceptions back and forth. So Michael Vick stepped into the game. It wasn't a good game or performance by Michael Vick, but it was a good performance at the first half where he brought us back and we were only down by one touchdown. And I want to dissect this game a little bit further because I think how we played in this Buffalo game and the mistakes that we made in this game can be a good picture for us to be able to look at going to the next game with the Bills. And we basically what happened with this Buffalo game, I thought we were evenly matched, but we started the game so bad with Geno Smith that we ended up, catching up. We were catching up the entire game. We were down 14-0, and Michael Vick stepped in. He ended up with 18 completions for 36 attempts, 153 yards, and one interception, no touchdown. I believe he fumbled once in that game as well. And that was, Orton's hot day. I mean, he was 238 yards, 10 for 18, 4 touchdowns. We were like we always do, is we maintained the running game fairly well. But Watkins had that long catch and he ended up having 157 yards. So I think if we have Adams and a couple of our corners that really showcased themselves in the last game against Pittsburgh for us to be able to shut Watkins down, and I think as far as the running game is concerned, our front four is so good that we're going to be able to do that. So, if our corners can defend the way they did against Pittsburgh, then we can come in with all in blitz, and not worry about the coverage, just like the old days with Darrelle Revis and Cromartie. But again, that was just one game. But if we can maintain that, that'd be great. I think the other thing that we can do a little bit more in this game is, I think, let's run the ball more. Let's run the ball more. And the other thing that Buffalo did not do well whatsoever was to be able to defend Michael Vick running. Michael Vick ended up having 70 yards in that game. So I think Michael Vick can utilize even his running and passing in that game to be able to throw the defense off. So that's that. The other thing is our wide receivers have to be able to show up more. I'm expecting a big game from Percy Harvin and also Amaro. So let's see what happens. It's going to be in a dome in Detroit. It's going to be different for both teams, but at the same time, I'm really glad because at least it's not Buffalo. It's not going to be a very hostile environment. I really love for us to go 3-8. And there's a lot of Jets fans that are saying, "Hey, you know what? Let's lie flat. Let's let's lose the rest of the games. Um, let's get a good draft pick out of it." In my perspective, honestly, there is no way in the world I'm going to sit there watch a Jets game, root for us to lose. I just can't do it. It is what it is. I mean, if we lose, I'll be like, all right, sure, fine, we lost. But there's no way in the world I'm sitting there watching that TV and I'm like, all right, Vic, let's get sacked. Or I just can't do it. But I know there's Jets fans, it's your own opinion, that are pulling for us to lose just for us to be able to get, um, a draft pick. Now, as far as the draft is concerned, um, I'm not too. Uh, I'm kind of. I'm not going to say I'm giving up on the idea of having a franchise quarterback, but right now, I think Michael Vick gives us just enough. You know, um, so what it really comes down to is just I want to be able to get a good wide receiver out of the draft. I think Michael Vick, believe it or not, can be a starting quarterback for us next year. I know we signed him to a 1 year deal, but we can definitely extend that. And I don't think he minds playing maybe one more year for the Jets. Um, so that kind of plays itself. So I don't know. Let's see what happens with the game. I am predicting us to win just because of the fact that Buffalo hasn't been able to prepare themselves um, very well for this game. There's also been rumors about Jim Harbaugh might be a candidate for the Jets. Now everybody knows that I'm a huge Rex Ryan guy, and if I was to ever give up Rex Ryan for anybody, it would be Harbaugh. But just like my brother said, it's wishful thinking, and it kind of is because for a coach to come into a not a very stable organization, meaning there's just really bad decisions have been made over the past few years that has placed us in the place that we are in right now. Um, so it is what it is. I'm predicting a little bit more conservative game. I'm predicting not much of a shootout. I'm going to be predicting a 24-14 New York Jets. Um, so I think it's going to be close all throughout third quarter, and then one team's going to be able to branch out. Now, don't count Buffalo out. This is definitely they definitely have a chip over the shoulder with coming out there trying to represent for Buffalo and the whole condition and not being a practice. And so we can't go in there thinking, why we got all the advantage, because at the end of the day, we're still a sloppy football team. We did have a good game against Pittsburgh Steelers, but nothing for us to sit there and, think that we're golden. One thing I did want to mention, this is just outside of Jets stuff, and if you guys have any comments or tell me what you think, but one thing I did want to kind of get off my chest is just this ridiculous thing that's happening with sports nowadays. Um, I was watching 30 for 30 when the Garden was eaten about the Knicks, and just kind of, if a lot of you guys might be, like me, I enjoy sports history. I think there's nothing greater than organization with history that draws me to that organization. Like, I love the Knicks history. I love the Lakers history. I I enjoy the Jets history. I enjoy the Raiders history. I enjoy the New York Giants history. Those are franchises with rich history, and I can truly appreciate that. And I do a lot of like researching on sport teams. I just find it very intriguing. And what's amazing is when they were showing that 30 for 30 was about almost all the Knicks players on that team held a full-time job as they worked for as they played for the Knicks. And it's amazing looking at that and looking at the multi-million dollar deals with the players nowadays. And I just saw that Marlins that got that ridiculous deal. And I know not all of it is guaranteed, but I just kind of started thinking about what do contracts look like in 2035 or 2020? You know what I mean? Um, that to me is just insane. I think there just needs to be a limit to how much players make. And here's the thing, and players make a good argument. I think Kobe Bryant came out and said that he doesn't believe in the what is it, hometown discount or whatever it's called, hometown. I don't know whatever it's called. He called it a big coup, and I can totally understand where he's coming from. Basically, what he's saying is that's just the way of a owner putting a player on the spot in in the presence of the media and the fans for him to put pressure on him and kind of force him into taking a lesser deal so the team can be more flexible or the owner can put more money in his pocket. Um, and we all saw that with Dirk Nowitzki. We all saw that with Carmelo Anthony. And if you come out and say, you know what, I do want the money all the way, and there's fans that are going to say, you know what, this guy's all about the money. So that's. But at the same time, I just feel like it's just gotten to a point. It's just too much money. Um, and again, it's just my opinion. The other thing that really bugs me is, and I'm starting to see this a lot in college football. It's kind of transitioning itself into the NFL. Is the ridiculous uniforms. I'm a USC fan. I love the fact that the team has stayed true to those colors and hasn't tried to change anything up. I know Sarkisian has lightened up the helmets just a little bit, and that's already bothering me. But gosh, like watching an Oregon game, it's like a fashion show, or Maryland, or I mean, all the teams are doing it nowadays. Um, and the other one that really bothers me, and this is kind of going to the NFL, like you can see the Jacksonville Jaguars, but the thing that happened with the Miami Dolphins, I don't think it's. Um, I just think that's just a little bit of an evolution there. I don't see a big deal about that, but I did like their old logo better with the dolphin kind of going down rather than going up. I know this video is a little silly, but I just like talking about these things. And the other thing that really just irks me big time is we're not giving enough time to stadiums. Like, for example, Shea Stadium was around for a long time. The Atlanta Braves have had Turner Field for now more than 20 years, probably even less. And they are now getting a new stadium. Same thing with the Georgia Dome. Um, like Citi Field. Like, I'm starting to get really tired of stadiums being named after like commercial, after banks, after grocery stores, after insurance companies. Old Meadowlands. I love that. Now it's MetLife Stadium. Shea Stadium. Now it's Citi Field. It just doesn't have the same, thing to it. And I think those are things that I value in sports is, that ruggedness about a stadium, that, not an appealing thing. I think the Oakland Raiders have the awesomest uniforms. Simple black and gray. They don't add anything to it. I don't know. My opinion. I don't want to keep going on and on, but I'm pretty sure there's some fans out there that feel the same way about the directions of professional sports. But again, I'm really interested to see the Jets game. I'm going to be at work for probably the first and second quarter, but probably going to catch third and fourth. So you guys let us know. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing. Some of you guys leave some awesome comments and just let the conversations roll on. Expect a video from us about the Knicks. Probably not on Sunday, just for the fact that they don't play on Sunday. They play Monday night. So expect a video from us Monday night, so that way we are able to cover the Sixers game and the Rockets game rather than just covering one video. So please comment, subscribe, and have a wonderful night.